down, thinking I'm on the right track. I'm writing a song as I'm riding along, and I'm keeping the sun at my back. Big horse, trailer, and truck, I can make my own luck. I ride through the sand and the sage. It gives me a rush to be busting the brush, acting about half my age. Lone cowboy, I'm doing my best. Lone cowboy, I go everywhere west. Lone cowboy, with my old campfire songs. Lone cowboy, giddy up, get along. I've owned some good ponies, blacks, bays, and blue roadies, bays, palominos, and paints. Got good songs and bad ones, love songs and sad ones, songs about sinners and saints. Still riding like wildfire to find the next campfire. Memories turn embers to coals. But at daylight I'm crying to live forever or die trying. But I'll never get old in my soul. Lone cowboy, I'm doing my best. Lone cowboy, I go everywhere west. Lone cowboy, with my old campfire songs. Lone cowboy, giddy up, get along. Lone cowboy, lone cowboy, lone cowboy. Tonight, again, all the proceeds from this show go to Murphy Western Institute, a nonprofit that's tax exempt. You can write off any donations on your taxes. The purpose of Murphy Western Institute is protect and to preserve and perpetuate and educate people about the American West, both the Old West and the New West. We try to help a lot of people who have an effect on Western culture, particularly Native Americans, through the foundation that gives horses to young Indian kids so they can have a horse. A lot of them can't afford to have one. And this takes wild horses off the range and gives them an owner, somebody to take care of them, instead of them being in a bad situation out on the range. Also, we restored the Home on the Range cabin up in Kansas. We were partners in doing that, and we're very proud of that. It's the cabin that a man who came from Ohio years ago came to, and he became a doctor out there. His name was Brewster Higley, and he loved Kansas so much that he wrote Home on the Range. And we also have helped kids become cowboys. Every year in the summertime, the ranch I live on brings young men in, and we train them how to be cowboys. And we do it with a moral perspective, a standpoint of these people learning to live good lives and learn about hard work. So this is a little bit of wildfire on this guitar, which if you make a donation of $1,500 or more tonight, I'll give you an autographed version of this, and I'll personalize it, put your name on it, and we'll ship it to you. So hope you agree with us that it's very important to preserve the great American traditions and ways of life and the culture that came from the frontier people of the American West. Both the people who went west and the people who were already there when they got there. She comes down from the Yellow Mountain on a dark dark flatland she rides. On a pony she named Wildfire. A whirlwind by her side on a cold Nebraska night. Well, they say she died one winter when there came the killing frost, and the pony she named Wildfire busted down his stall. In a blizzard he was lost. Ran calling wildfire, calling wildfire, calling wildfire. So by the dark of the moon I planted, but there came an early snow. There's been a hoot owl, a howling outside my window now, 6 nights in a row. She's coming for me, I know, and on Wildfire we're both gonna go. We'll be riding wildfire, riding wildfire, riding wildfire. On wildfire we're gonna ride, gonna leave side busting behind. Get the hard times right on out of our minds. We'll be riding wildfire. Well, we do wildfire in almost every show. What's the reason for that? Well, I get so many requests for it. Whenever we do Facebook Live, they just start coming in. And even if we're doing one of these, which we do videos as the show, we still get lots of requests for wildfire. So I did that, and I also wanted to have you hear how this autographed guitar sounds. It's a really good Epiphone guitar. I think you'll enjoy playing it, or just using it as a souvenir and a token of the fact that you made a donation to my foundation for American West heritage and the culture that engendered the American West. Hey, it's Michaelmartinmurphey, Murph here. Tonight I'm talking about the Swans Against the Sun album. It was inspired by this painting made by Don Hummel. Don was a Vietnam veteran who came home, and after he'd seen so much conflict and violence, he saw these beautiful swans flying across the Klamath River Valley and made this painting. It's a big painting. I've seen it. It's in the Favell Museum in Klamath Falls, Oregon. Swans Against the Sun shows these really awkward looking swans, at the same time beautiful because they're flying somehow in a formation that's sort of mystical in a lot of ways. And in that I saw the story of the human race. We can be so awkward and we can be so beautiful at the same time. I think we're mostly beautiful when we love each other and take care of each other. And although this show is called the Lone Cowboy Hour, it's not really talking about how great it is to be alone. is talking about how important it is to be a strong individual, a rugged individual, and be able to do your job on your own if you need to, or at least understand all the other people that work under you or with you and understand how their job works. And inside there has to be a strong inner core that is your individual self. My favorite part of the Constitution of the United States of America is the Bill of Rights, as you probably guessed. And that's for individuals, not about committees and legislatures and stuff like that. I think it was great that the Founding Fathers saw that pursuit of happiness was a very important part of the founding of America and the individual rights of each person to pursue that happiness. So here it is, Swans Against the Sun. Wild grace has its own place, has its own face, prone to flight. Sky grown, wind blown wings flown over air blown back tonight. Flashing, freely clashing, love of chaos, love of one. We are bright storms, rising free forms. We're wild swans against the sun. Spirit, none go near it. All men fear it in the night. And some say love goes one way, and then someday no more flight. Well, this year it is not clear just what ends here, what's begun. But we're all bright storms, rising free forms, wild swans against the sun. On the Lone Cowboy Hour, we are all about what one person can do solo. That's the whole point of the show. And also just for me to get out what I love to do. I love to occasionally play a show by myself and have done whole tours that way. And that isn't that I don't like my band. We do a lot of stuff together, and I'm looking at doing another show at some point down the line where the band can participate in it. And that'll be fun. You know, there's one guy here that I'm about to talk about that I initially turned down the video he sent me because he sent me a video of several people playing one of my songs. And I thought, well, that's not going to work for the Lone Cowboy Hour. We're about solo acoustic. So I asked him to send me a solo acoustic tune. Well, turns out that on that first video that he sent, which was his version of my song Rolling Nowhere, it's him playing all the instruments. And it's actually shown on the video. This is Australian Rod McCormack. He's won many gold and platinum albums in Australia, written 30 or 40 songs, literally maybe 100 songs for movies around the country in Australia. He's also had several big hits, 30 number one hits in Australia. So he's a great songwriter as well. He's also the winner of the Golden Guitar Award, which is something that's given out in Tamworth, Australia every year. So I hope you'll enjoy this incredible video where Rod McCormack plays all the instruments. So that's not breaking the rules of the Lone Cowboy deal all that much, because it is about what one person can do. And man, could one person ever rock this. Watch this.
Sign, passing shadows, bitter wine, rolling nowhere. Now I find my heart's a lonesome line. Down by the muddy river, in a jungle with no name. Let the smoke rise from the fire, let the story fan the flames. Ain't a burning need for rolling till the world looks all the same. Rolling nowhere. Let my mind be free of questions, let my heart be free of fear. My eyes see only motion, let a day become a year. Ain't a burning need for rolling till I'm way out in the clear. Rolling nowhere, rolling nowhere. Flashing signs, passing shadows, bitter wine. Rolling nowhere. Now I find my heart's a lonesome line. Every tramp will soon discover with the dawning of the light. You can't stay in the mission if you don't know wrong from right. So he keeps on moving faster, leaves his conscience out of sight. Rolling nowhere. And a barber can't make no money off a man who won't be shaved. And a preacher can't make no living off a man who won't be saved. He might accept your welfare, but he roll right over your grave. Rolling nowhere, rolling nowhere. Flashing signs, passing shadows, bitter wine. Rolling nowhere. Now I find my heart's a lonesome line.
One of the songs I love most on the Swans Against the Sun album is an old Hank Williams song that once again I did as a duet with John Denver. John and I were good friends and were hanging out quite a bit in those days, skiing, trout fishing. Our families knew each other. We had a great time up there in Aspen, and when he would come down to Red Rocks and do shows, he even gave me a couple of shout outs at that time, which meant a lot to me, and recorded one of my songs, Boy from the Country. This is I guess the original Lone Cowboy song right here, if there ever was one. A great song by Hank Williams. And we were all into reviving old country hits at that time. Willie Nelson had just put out Red-Headed Stranger, and Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, of course, was an old song that he revived. So that was very much the spirit of those of us from Austin, Texas, was bringing really traditional country music to the fore for a pop audience. So this song's a real masterpiece in my opinion. Tonight, down here in the valley, I'm lonesome and oh, how I feel as I sit here alone in my cabin. I can see your mansion on the hill. Do you recall how we parted? The story to me you revealed. You said you could live without love, dear, in that loveless mansion on the hill. So I've waited all through the years, love, to give you a heart true and real. 'Cause I know you are living in sorrow in that loveless mansion on the hill. The light shines bright in your window, and the trees stand so silent and still. I know you're alone with your pride, dear, in your loveless mansion on the hill. Tonight, down here in the valley, I'm lonesome and oh, how I feel as I sit here alone in my cabin. I can see your mansion on the hill. Well, we usually only have 2 guests a week on the Lone Cowboy Hour, and that's actually true today too, except we don't usually let them do more than one song. But, well, Rod McCormack, after demonstrating what he could do by playing all the instruments on that video you saw earlier, now I'm going to bring him back, and he's going to play something solo acoustic. This is a great tribute to a great artist. If you didn't hear my first introduction, Rod McCormack is an Australian. He knows what it's like to be out on the great outback, and he's got the lone cowboy spirit. He's won multiple gold and platinum awards in Australia, written hundreds of songs for films. He was given the Golden Guitar Award by the Australian Country Music Association. This guy's done it all, and he's got a new album out called Fingerprints. So here he is again, from down under, Rod McCormack.
Hey everyone, greetings from my little studio here in Australia. I'd like to sing a song I wrote with my great friends in Nashville, Templeton Thompson and Sam Gay. This is called Another Tinsel Town. When you're at the crossroads, it can draw you in. One push on the pedal, you're dancing with the devil, let the games begin. There's ghosts out on the highway, and their souls been lost. It seems they're always selling, but you know there's no telling what it really cost. Well, I know that it looks like gold, so many legends told, but still it's just another place where dreams get sold. Baby, when the lights go down, no one's around. You know, I know, everybody knows it's just another tinsel town. Standing on the outside, it's a different view. Looks can be deceiving, all that I believed in I can see right through. I can still remember how it used to be. The fire we were chasing was magic in the making, now it's bittersweet. I know that it looks like gold, so many legends told, but still is just another place where dreams get sold. Baby, when the lights go down, no one's around. You know, I know, everybody knows it's just another tinsel town. Closer look, and all you see is hard times, where it's been way too long since he really shined. Oh, I know that it looks like gold, so many legends told, but still it's just another place where dreams get sold. Baby, when the lights go down, no one's around. You know, I know, everybody knows it's just another tinsel town.
Our next guest is from Kansas, and before I bring him on, I'd like to sing the Kansas State song. Do you know what that is? Give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope lay, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. How often at night, when the heavens are bright, I see the light of the flickering stars. Have I laid there amazed and asked, as I gazed, if their glory exceeds that of ours? Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Up in Council Grove, Kansas, a good friend of mine builds a campfire in his backyard on his ranch every night before he goes to bed. I've seen him do it in the middle of the winter and even during hot weather. He just loves to sit out and look at that campfire. So you'd have to say he enjoys the lone cowboy experience, although sometimes he gets so lonesome that his wife Judy joins him out there. And sitting out under the Kansas prairie under the stars, like that song talks about, that's got to be one of the greatest things. I don't think Kansas gets enough credit for what a beautiful state it is, particularly this time of year when the tall grass prairie comes in and there's so much great grazing ground. And in a year where they've got lots of water, you see the cattle grazing at springs and ponds. So going to the Prairie Rock Ranch out in Council Grove, Kansas, and we're going to hear from my good friend Frank Goodrich. He's going to do our cowboy poem of the week.
Got a great cowboy poem for you by a prolific cowboy poet named Bruce Kiskadden. It's called Your Campfire. And it goes something like this. When there wasn't many fences and you traveled on your own, there was times when night came on you and you had to camp alone. You hobbled out your horses near a creek or water hole. Then you built yourself a fire and laid down your old bedroll. You went into your pack outfit and got some stuff to eat. You had coffee, some flapjacks. Then you fried yourself some meat. Then you crawled into your bedroll that was laid out on the ground and kept looking at the fire while you watched it dying down. When the fire stopped burning and the coals began to die, you could see the stars aplenty shining up there in the sky. You could hear your hobbled horses not far off moving around. Then a coyote started yelling with his wild and crazy sound. Yes, you liked it on the roundup, where the fellers talks and jokes. But there's times when a man feels better out away from other folks. For there ain't no better place for thinking, though I couldn't tell you why, than a camp alone out somewhere, and you watch your campfire die.
Dancing in the Meadow is an Irish song, really. I'm Irish, so it's an Irish song because I'm Irish. I discovered that there's something mysterious about that. It seems to be in your genetics. First time I went over to the UK and encountered Irish music, I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It did something to my soul that I can't even describe. And I started listening to a lot of Irish music and Celtic music from places all over the world where the Celts settled. One of the things that makes me want to go back and just be in an Irish band is that banjo and that fiddle music is the thing that probably is the main influence on cowboy music and country music today. And it's good to go back to your roots once in a while. Dancing in the Meadow goes through all the seasons. It goes through Starts off actually with the spring, and then you go into the summer, then the fall, and then the winter. So it's kind of about the phases of a person's life and the excitement of each one of those phases. It's also a song very much about nature, and the thing that I've always loved the most in life is nature. I just love to be outdoors. Even if I go into the city, I like to go to the parks. If I go to somebody's house in the city, or I have to live in town for a little while to work on a project, I still like to have big trees around me if possible. Like to take plenty of walks outside. And I love the changes in seasons. So the place where that gets the most dramatic, though, is in the Rocky Mountains. And then way up in Wisconsin and the North Country around Minnesota, up there in the UP, you see all four seasons just have a really beautiful patina to them somehow. So anyway, that's Dancing in the Meadow, and a little bit about that. And this is a song that I wrote completely on my own. There were no co-writers. It was on Swans Against the Sun, and it still gets a lot of requests. Later on, I redid it as a bluegrass song on my Buckaroo Bluegrass album. So here's to you. And by the way, thanks to John McEwen, who played awesome stuff on the original album. Played fiddle, mandolin, and banjo on this track. Dancing in the Meadow. When the snowbeds thaw and the stream beds crawl to the waterfall in the river, I turn my face to the bright green space of the mother and life giver. No man is made of ring of jade like green corn in the husk. No man is made of turquoise stone as deep blue as the dusk. Come away from the working day and laugh and let your head go. Bring along an old time song, we're dancing in the meadow. Leave your bedside for a moonlight ride where the midnight air is warmer. Sing for the quail and the cottontail who still escapes the farmer. Deep love thicket in the bramble bush where the quiet creatures hide are part of me, a mystery as I accept the pride. If I must stay and lay all day like a March hare in the hedgerow, when the hunter's gone, it's all night long. I'm dancing in the meadow. Come October and the evening air is crisper, by the mist and smoke from the twisted oak, I listen to the branches whisper. Barn dancers reel in the furrowed field must yield and quickly turn. Harvest song, the hoot owl song is one we now must learn. Sing the who are you? And if it's you who said so, it's me, it's only me, I'm dancing in the meadow. When the seasons pass and the hourglass is all too quickly shattered, you'll lay me low beneath the snow and wonder if I mattered. Late at night your hair gone white will surely stand on end. You'll hear me sing my banjo, ring the voice of your old friend. If you get brave, run to my grave and ask me, are you dead? No! No tombstone can cover my bones, I'm dancing in the meadow. Woo! song Renegade from the Swans Against the Sun album is part of a movement that started in the 1960s in California that I call the real seeds of the outlaw movement. I give credit to the Eagles for their Desperado album. That album really made a big difference and made people start thinking about rebelling against Nashville. Twisted trains, unseen chains, and broken bars of steel, dangling hopes, lengths of rope, and a chase that seems surreal. Somebody dealt you the ace of spades. You lost your bet, now the debt is paid. But you know your strongest hand has not been played. Idol so well known, faces turned to stone. Now you always go alone or you're betrayed. Dead in the canyon rim, hanging on a limb, and the whole mirage begins to fade. Renegade, renegade. Somebody dealt you the ace of spades. You lost your debt. Sky grown, wind blown, wings flown, over airborne, back tonight. Flashing, freely clashing, love of chaos, love of one. We are bright stars, rising freeforms, wild swans against the sun.